With the launch of WoW's War Within, we got a new type of content. Delves, a place to progress and gear up either solo or with friends outside of the big raids or the challenging Mythic Plus content. Not only is this a place you can go and get gear every week, it's also directly tied to the Great Vault. And this isn't what we normally see with this sort of content. This isn't your normal open world weekly content where you get adventurer level gear, veteran level gear, and it's kind of like you get that before you jump into normal raid. That's not what we got with Delves. Delves are so much stronger. You can get gear in Delves right now on par with heroic raid gear. It is wild how strong this gear is, and that's kind of what I want to talk about. I'm going to go over all the different sources of gear you can get from here because you can get 603, 610, and 616 just from Delves, and I want to talk about how you do that. So the main gear you'll be going for is the eye level 603 from Bountiful Delves. You can get multiple of this every single week. The way to do this is you have to get the keys, the coffer keys each week. You get those from doing things like the theater, the machine quest in the Ringing Deeps, the weekly spider quest, the hollow full light, all that kind of stuff gives you chests. You open those and you can get coffer keys. And then every single day, 4 delves are picked at random to be bountiful, which means they are the bountiful delves of the day. You can go into those delves, you can pick a difficulty, and then you progress towards the end. At the end, there will be 2 blue chests and there will be a purple chest. The purple chest needs the coffer key, and that's the one with the really juicy gear in. The best rewards right now come from tier 8 and above delves. It seems that 8 to 11 give the same items, so most people are just running these on tier 8, and at the end, the item level you get is champion level 603. This is a very, very, very powerful item this early in the season. You can get multiple keys a week, and you can do up to 4 Bountiful Delves a day. So there is a ton of really powerful, guaranteed gear here every single week. This isn't like a mythic where you can miss out on an item, or like a raid where you can miss a roll. This is guaranteed at the end of the Bountiful Delve. The best thing about this is these aren't warband bound. These are character bound. So you can go on one character, get a bunch of keys, do a bunch of Bountiful Delves, and get some really good gear, and then switch to another character, get more keys for that character, and go into the same delves on that character, as it's completely separate for each character, which is really good. So you can gear multiple characters, you can get all your alts every week just from delves. On top of this, you can also get eye level 610 from these delves. What you want to do is, as you go through these bountiful delves, at the end there are 2 blue chests and a purple. The purple needs a key, the blue doesn't. In the blue chests, there is a small chance that you can get an item called a Delver's Bounty. This is an item that when you use it, the next Bountiful Delve that you go in will spawn an extra purple chest. This extra purple chest does not need a key, and the item inside is eye level 610. It is a hero level piece of gear, which is absolutely wild. This is a ridiculously high piece of gear for no additional extra work. The delve isn't harder, it just has the extra item. It's just pure luck if you manage to get this to drop. So one thing you can do is, even if you have no keys to open the purple chests, it's worth going into the Bountiful Delves to open the blue chests at the end to try and get one of these Delver's Bounties, because the item that drops is even better than a normal coffer key Bountiful Delve. But wait, there's more. There is also a rare event that can happen in Delves that you might not have even seen yet. While doing Delves, a random monster can just ambush you, kind of like the Butcher in Diablo 4 if you played that. This is like a big insect that just randomly ambushes you in the delve called Zekvir. It's a monster of a fight. It ambushed us as a team of 3 in a tier 8 delve, and it had around 140 million HP and hit like a truck. You fight this, and it's a pretty long fight. It's a pretty tough fight, in which you get it to 50% HP, or wipe, I believe. We got it to 50% HP, and then it burrows into the ground and runs away. And it leaves behind like this big talon that you can loot. And looting this gets you another champion level 603 item. Another one! I'll say this seems fairly rare. I've run about 10 Bountiful Delves at tier 8 so far across 2 characters. I've had 3 of the Delver's Bounties, which feels pretty good, and I've seen friends get them at the same time, but I've only seen 1 of these Zekvir ambushes. But still, this is just even more really high level gear. So yeah, Delves are a fantastic source of gear right now. You can just log on each day, each week, just do delves and have gear on par with like raiders, which is strange. But wait, there's more. If you complete your weekly vault, you get an even better item. If you complete 2, 4, and 8 delves in a week, you upgrade your weekly vault. There's now a new line just for open world content and delves. And this has a super high level item. If you complete a tier 6, you will get a choice of a 606 item. If you complete a tier 8, you get a whopping 616. In just 1 week from doing delves, you can get gear on par with heroic raid gear. if you just do delves, you can pretty much bypass all of the content in the game, which is really strange. I still don't know how I feel. If you compare this to what's available elsewhere right now, Mythic 0 gear is 593, so delves are significantly better than that. Normal raid gear is 597 on the earlier bosses, going up to 606 on the later bosses, and then heroic raid starts at 610. That means just from going into these little, 20-minute cave adventures with your friends or solo, you're guaranteed gear that is higher level than Mythic 0, higher level than normal raid, and on par with heroic raid, which, is that a good thing? I don't know. I don't want to talk about that because Blizzard seem to have no idea where they want this content to sit. Is this super easy, casual, open world content like they described it? Like is this just world quests? If so, why is it giving gear on par with heroic raids? And if this is supposed to be really hard content that you need to group up for, and it's supposed to be really challenging, why is it giving gear better than mythics, which are arguably harder? I've ran these solo and they were fine. A little challenging if you're under-geared, but okay. There's no downside to bringing in 3 people. Everybody got full loot and the mobs don't really scale. I did around 10 tier 8 delves across 2 characters in a small group, and we didn't really have any problems. It wasn't like sweating it out in a mythic. It wasn't relying on a big group in a raid. It was just chill, easy gear with virtually no effort and no stress. And we walked away with inventories full of 600 plus gear, which is bizarre. And understandably, it got hotfixed. The Blizzard have said, this isn't what we want. They felt that the group delves were too easy, and they've adjusted the damage and the health when grouped with other players. And I think that's a good choice, because it should be harder or there's no reason to go in solo. So I thought, okay, if it's harder in a group, I'll just go in solo today and get today's done solo. So I jumped in today, and it is now insanely hard, even solo. These were pretty easy a couple of days ago, and now I'm much more geared. They're so much harder that if you're under-geared, they're probably not doable. For a recommended item level of 600, I'm like 590 and struggling in these now. So I just don't know what's happening with delves. I don't know if they're supposed to be this casual, open world style of content for people that don't want much stress, but with juiced up rewards to bring casual players that same, big endorphin hit when they open their vault and see a big item. Or is it supposed to be a super challenging mythic level difficulty content for single players, like the Mage Tower? Is that what it's supposed to be? Because that's what the rewards would suggest. I don't know. I can't understand right now where delves are supposed to sit in endgame. And given the really, really huge adjustment they made in the last hotfix, it feels like Blizzard aren't quite sure where they want them to sit either, which is strange. But yeah, that's kind of all I wanted to cover here. Some really good gear in a really new type of content that is still finding its feet. Also, brand sucks. But that's it from me. I'd love to know what you think of delves. Do you love them, hate them? And how do you feel about the massive amounts of gear that they're dropping? I play this game quite a lot, and I've played it for years, so I've probably got a view of the game that's a little more biased. So yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts on delves. What do you think of them? But that's it from me. Take care. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.